Today, for the very first time, we are going to be listening to the brand new Volbeat album. This is God of Angels Trust. Hello everybody and welcome back to another album review / reaction here on the channel. We all just got done filming our video, our intro to Volbeat album, and so we are all up in the Volbeat feels right now, plus Metallica, because let's face it, Volbeat wouldn't exist without Metallica. Volbeat's better than Metallica, and I'm very much looking forward to this. Nope. And so I'm very much looking forward to this album. I want to tell you guys up front, I have never heard a second of any of these songs. And based on what we just listened to, I mentioned to you guys that I liked the albums where that extra guy joined the band and we had sort of like more lead guitar and stuff. He left the band in 2023, so that Rob guy is no longer a part of the band. So they're gone back to being a three-person band. So first of all, one of the things I expect to maybe hear on this album is less lead guitar and more of just a trio, guitar, bass, drums, and then the guitar player Michael Paulson also sings. So I'm expecting that. Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. My name's Patrick. This is my cousin Cody. No relation. And then this down here is my friend Chris Parker. We have lots of great Metallica videos here on the channel, lots of great stuff. You can go check everything out. I also currently have leukemia. You can go watch videos about that as well. But don't worry, I'm on the back side of my transplant and everything is going well. So that's a great thing as well. I just want to bring it up because I have to constantly drink water or my mouth gets really dry. Otherwise, I wouldn't even bother mentioning it anymore. But if we can get some sympathy, you guys can give us tons of money and stuff because I have cancer. That'd be great. There's no way currently for you to give us any money, but you can think about it.
And if not, you don't care about his cancer, you could fund the fact that I do not have a job. So
right, exactly. We are all pretty sad.
There's a good
PM for.
There's plenty of good causes in here.
Send a DM for his PayPal info.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
gift cards. I hear good things about gift cards.
So what we're going to do here on the channel is we are going to listen all the way through this album. We're going to pause in between songs so we can sort of discuss what we're hearing. Like I said, we just got done recording a video where Chris and Cody were sort of exposed to this band for the first time, and we listened to several songs from across their whole catalog. I have not heard any of this yet. I don't know if this album's going to be heavier, poppier, or I really don't know. I expect it to be quite a bit different. One of the things I did not mention, or maybe I did mention it, their last two albums have been significantly darker themed. So they're not the like sort of happy cowboy album or the New Orleans, pugilism one about the fighting and stuff. It's not it's not about that kind of stuff. This album at least, I don't know what it is. Their next two albums were much darker. They reference Satan a lot and just really metal, kind of cliche metal things a lot. I can't believe we forgot at the end of the video. Let's start this video with it. Chris, is Volbeat a metal band? Wait, let's start with Cody.
Is Volbeat let's go with this. Let's say, is Volbeat a band, or is Volbeat like a machine that they punch a bunch of numbers into to make songs
that sound like Metallica?
Ouch.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say more yes than no.
Okay.
But they do so many different types of music that it's like maybe they're not a metal band. Maybe they are a band that has metal songs.
Right. And we have talked about that a lot in our What is Metal video, like what makes a band metal. We talked about, is a band the most heavy thing a band does? Is that how heavy they are? Is that what you use as your sort of barometer, or a majority of their music, or what? So, Cody, what do you think?
I think it's got to be majority.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
I agree on the majority thing, and from what we've heard, I would say no.
Okay.
But every once in a while, you would click on something that's like, and you'd be like, oh, but look at this. So I don't know. Is that just like one track every album?
Yeah, let me cherry pick the
or?
metal songs.
Well,
right.
The thing is, I wanted to.
Because if what we heard is representative of what they sound like, I would say no.
Okay.
I'm into it. I dig this answer.
Okay. Yeah. I did not want to. I could have just done. I do think. Well, let's just listen to this album and we'll see. We can use this album as a good way of sort of seeing what we think. I'm really hoping. I really like the production on all of Volbeat's albums. If you take into consideration how big they were at the time when they made them, But after they blew up and got big, their production has been fantastic steadily across every album. And I do think their last album may be their best sounding album. They tried a lot of weird things on it, and it's, like I said, it's darker. There's a lot more longer songs. So let's pull up the album here. If this is 10 songs, 44 minutes. So it doesn't look like, it looks like the longest song is the track 8, and it's 5:14. So their previous album, Servant of the Mind, had several tracks over 6.5 minutes long. So they were doing a little bit more progressive stuff. Every other album of theirs has like multiple tens of millions of plays on the big singles. This one, track 2 by A Monster's Hand, appears to be the first single they released. It has almost 10 million plays. Then track 5 and track 6 each have over 2 million. And then all the other songs have around 250 million, or 250,000, I mean, sorry. So not a ton of plays, but again, this album just came out on Friday. We're recording this on Tuesday of the following week. So we don't need to wait too long for this. Are you guys ready to get into this album?
Let's do it.
Yep. Awesome. This is God of Angels Trust by Volbeat from 2025. Track 1, Devils Are Awake, in 3, 2, 1. Interesting. It sounds a little more raw right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. A welcome change. All of the heaviness of the guitars disappeared when the vocals started.
Kind of. They're playing higher. There's a tambourine in there.
Mm-hmm. The hi-hat's 200 million miles away.
Oh. Interesting. Not a lot of snap to the snare drum. The drums really sound
I feel like a lot of
real
highs
drums.
and missing in general.
I'm very surprised by the lead guitar during the chorus. That was a little different. I like it though.
Doesn't this feel like high pass to you?
Yes. Yeah, low passed. It seems kind of mushy. Yes.
Yes, I always get it wrong.
Yeah.
Low pass, yeah. It's weird because it feels like only the instruments are low pass. It's like they're a separate entity all by themselves from the vocals.
I think his vocals are too.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was cool. Will we get any lead, like, solos at all? Is the question I had. Because they're just back to being a three-piece again, so... Ooh. Not going back to the chorus at all.
Even after 5 minutes.
One thing I did remember while that was playing was I did read an article I read something about them, Michael Paulson, saying that for this album, they went in and they wrote and recorded the album faster than they'd ever made any other Volbeat album. They generally, he really sits down and they plan out like everything they're going to do. Like on this song, we're going to have acoustic guitar, we're going to have this, we're going to have this, we're going to have female backing vocals, I'm going to do harmony vocals here and this and this. This song is going to be structured like this, and they have it written out kind of beforehand, and then they just go in and record everything and mix it as well as they can. But for this album, they went into the studio, and I think they wrote a lot of it maybe before they got there, but they weren't. He said he specifically wanted to try to be less constrained by song structuring, which you guys know is a triggering thing for me. I want the songs to be structured like normal songs, like ABA, style. And he said that they wanted to just go in and do what felt right for each song and not be worried about the structuring at all. And so I think we just saw our first example of that there without them going back to the third chorus. They don't always do that on all of their other songs. We would listen to one that didn't do that. But a majority of their more accessible songs definitely always go back to the third chorus, and you can tell that the songs are a little bit more, they're like singles, and I could listen to that. That is not a single sounding song to me. I don't know what you guys thought.
I don't think it is.
How did you feel,
I'm
Cody?
curious to see if we have this low pass problem the whole album.
Oh, I think the whole album is going to sound that way. Absolutely. I don't think it'll change the way it sounds at all. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is with a lot of music this year and last few years.
Yeah.
It seems like this is very much in line with what we heard leading up to this, I'd say.
Okay. Interesting. I thought it sounded definitely sort of like stepped down in production quality, from the drums to the guitars to everything. Now, we do have to remember, on most of the stuff we were listening to before, there was another guitar player who was doing more rhythm stuff. And so now, like when you said when the guitars, like all the heaviness of the guitars went away during the verse, I think that is just because they were playing like a palm muted guitar riff, and then during the verse he switched to like open chords, just strumming style. And when you do that, all the heaviness does go away. And since he's the only guitar player now, and maybe they do perform with another person, I should say that. They probably do tour with another person so they can perform all their other songs. So they can have live. I was surprised they had a guitar solo in there, and I liked the guitar solo. I thought it sounded good. I thought it was nice in the mix. I thought it was performed well. But overall, I found that whole song, to lack some of the interesting energy that they bring to a lot of their songs. I thought that song was a little bit more boring to me.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I don't know. Okay, let's go on to the next one then. I'm hoping we get some variety across this album and that this isn't just a bland album that they puked out. So, okay, this is By a Monster's Hand. If there is a single on this album, it's probably this one, because this is the one with 9.9 million song plays. This is By a Monster's Hand, track 2, in 3, 2, 1.
See how much of this energy goes away when the vocals start. Tough to say. Mud City, man. That fits better.
Are you looking at the lyrics, Cody?
No. I will be, though.
I thought that was a female backing vocal, but it was him. Ooh,
Interesting. Doing it twice.
that was cool. This song is
This
way
is
better.
much more consistent. Yeah. This is the clearest of his vocals have sounded also, I think, so far in anything we've heard.
Oh,
It's like
interesting.
close and single.
Okay.
Like singular. Sounds like a person.
Wow.
That's a tricky progression.
Yes.
Be curious how that sounds live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he does everything flawlessly live. That's a cool part. Okay.
The way it drops, that whole sequence is very System of a Down.
Okay. I could see that. That's very
Yeah,
cool.
sure.
Are we gonna get a guitar? Thank you. A little guitar solo. Oh, there we go. Wow. Ooh, there's some dry vocals for you, Chris. I noticed on their previous album as well, when I listened to it, I almost thought it felt like they were pitch shifting his vocals, but I think he's just singing in a higher register.
This sounds just like he's singing it, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I hope that that's
Yeah,
not
that
the
is the
best
best
the
part.
album gets. Yeah.
What a weird way to end that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Really cool. That song was infinitely more interesting and better than the first one, I thought.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, all the problems that I had sonically with the first one weren't really quite as apparent there. Like the intensity and the lowness and like the proximity of the guitars didn't change. The vocals came in, like it all sat in a nice place. That low pass is still alive and well, however.
Yeah, it bothered me less, that
like you
song.
said, that's going to be the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. We can keep going. Cody, did you notice? I want you to be the lyrics guy. If you notice anything in the lyrics that are worth pointing out, feel free to
Okay,
do
will
that.
do.
You don't have to if you don't want to, but I figured since you haven't really said anything otherwise.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's all right.
To me, this is just. I did like that one more than the last one. To me, it's very much. I don't know.
I mean, your big problem with all
It
the
still
metal
doesn't have a
we've
lot
heard,
of depth.
The big problem you've had with all the metal we've heard so far is the vocals, and this is no screaming vocals. So I would think this would be
That's
more
true. Yeah.
accessible for you, whether you like the style or not, though.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I like the vocals. I guess I'm picky about vocals even outside of metal.
Oh no, I get it. It's an acquired taste, Tim, and I
But-
wanted to.
Yeah, you don't.
You know.
But as far as this goes, yeah, I'm liking this style. Like this song was more metal than the first song. I guess I would say with some of those guitar solos and stuff. But as far as like metal goes, I'm definitely enjoying this more than most metal that I've heard.
Right. Okay. And
If it counts.
Right, if it is in fact metal. I definitely think it is. I definitely think they're a metal band.
Yeah.
But Yeah, and I was gonna say this in our video before too. Like I do feel like it is definitely possible to dislike his voice and his singing style. Like it is so.
Oh, it's possible.
It is such a niche type of thing that if you don't like it, then there's no way you could enjoy this band because so much of the band is his voice and his singing.
It's a similar problem I have with Coheed and Cambria. Unfortunately, their music rules, but I really struggle with his voice.
Sniper, I'll shoot, you run. But yet you'll listen to I See Stars. Get out of here with that hypocrisy.
Right. No way. They are so different.
It's the same dude.
It's not just the high. It's not, man.
I know.
It's not just the higher register. There's a certain weird, like, I don't know what to call it in Coheed, but I really want to like them, but it just doesn't happen.
I want us to try to do a Coheed album at some point. People really consider them one of the best, like, progressive metal bands. Like, they really...
Right. I've heard of their, like, music. Like, they are top quality. They rip. But I just...
When you see the guy and then you hear his voice, you're like, there is something's not computing.
It's a disconnect.
This is not.
Somebody bumped the alternate universe over one. Like.
Yeah, something weird clearly happened here. Okay, let's move on to track 3. This is Acid Rain. This is 444, and this song only has 377,000 plays. So, all right, in 3, 2, 1. Okay.
I'm noticing how many songs on this album could be their own band names. Just 4 of them.
Interesting flangey guitar in the background there. I don't like the going into that chord. It like rush into it. It's weird.
It's yeah.
We're not even halfway done with this song yet.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling this one.
They got to do something to change it up.
Yeah.
This is a 3-minute song stretched to 4.5, 5 minutes so far.
We'll see what they do. I like the chorus. It's a weird way to go into it.
Yeah.
I don't think I like the chorus very much.
You don't? Okay.
No.
Not especially. I like this part.
That's not so bad.
There's acoustic guitar in there.
Yeah, way off. There's probably someone else playing in a different studio, though.
Yeah. Well, it's more of a percussive element.
Yeah, true. This is a nothing song. This also is completely devoid of Hetfieldism, which is interesting.
I have stopped hearing any like rockabilly influence in this music too.
Yeah.
From when we started.
And I mean, anything really discernible as interesting
Right, but
music.
remember, not every song has that stuff in it, though. You know, when you listen to their full albums, it
but I mean, the songs usually have something
every song isn't
in them.
like top 10 banger.
Sure, and I like the last song, so.
Well, I was really afraid this was going to happen. The guy that made the band interesting left the band. And now we have
Isn't
the
that
guy
the worst,
who
man?
left. And now I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that one was not a
That
strong
was-
song.
longer than it needed to be by he was like, we're going to ignore ignore the traditional structuring. Well, it's like, I wish you wouldn't have in that one and just ended the song when it felt
He's
like
not
it
constrained
should
by
have.
traditional.
He's going to
Traditional
make the
song
song
lengths.
quadruple length. Ugh. All right, let's ignore that one and move on. All right, this is Demonic Depression, 358, and let's just see what we got here. Hopefully this will be a heavy one because it's Demonic Depression. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
You got demonic depression. You got demonic defeat. When you're all under pressure, sad and about to derail. Striving for success without hard workers. It's like trying to harvest while you haven't planted. Amplifying with anger, self-inflicted by fear, and darker room you may enter. They will call in the end. Corridors in ruins, are they real or not? Walking in a slum of fever, dry and cold. They call in the deep end of the waterline. Whatever it means, but I feel like you're losing out on life. Don't call in the end, 'cause I know
You really hit that F hard. Live.
second go.
Yeah, it's his D's really weird too.
Sing along in the deep. Forgive me, Father of Piston. Your crossed face will say.
I should also say as well, their previous album, they did not try as hard to be like super catchy. Like that album is less about rhyming and being catchy and pop songs. So like this doesn't seem out of place to me having heard that album, but that's not my favorite album of their albums. Like their stuff from before that is way more accessible. And I feel like this is a little bit less intentionally accessible. I like the chorus. I love the heavy part, fast part during the verse.
The lyrics are just like a self-help song. It looks like
Are they?
it's very much like, don't be depressed.
We're gonna
you're
get a
worth
guitar solo.
living.
I think so.
They're calling the deep end of the waterline. Whatever it means, but I feel like you're losing out on life. They're calling the end 'cause you need to
Ooh.
open up your mind. Whatever it takes, 'cause I feel like you're losing out on life. They're calling the end 'cause I know you'll be good for a second go.
You know,
I really liked that.
there was
one.
something I was gonna. Did you?
Sorry.
There's
What were
something I was going
gonna
to say
You
about
go
the
for it.
previous songs, when in the previous video that we did. You know, like the biggest complaint that people have about player pianos,
They're soulless.
in the sense that it's like, what's that?
They're soulless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I'm getting it's a vibe that I keep getting from these guys. It's like, yeah, that song was heavy, but like, why? And I don't know. I'm still struggling to figure out the best way to articulate it, but it does. I keep wanting keep wanting to compare it to like almost like a roller coaster, where it's like, yeah, it's scary, but it's also on a track. So it's like a fake kind of like fear for your death and safety, where it's like, oh, I might feel like I might fly out of this, but at the same time, you're not gonna, so it's okay. That's why you go on it in the first place.
Well, and
I
I
like
like
that metaphor.
I like
Yeah.
the way you put it earlier when you're like, who is this for? Because I think that's
Right.
kind of.
And
the
I'm still
same
struggling to that.
vibe.
Like, if I think of something like, what's a Volbeat, like biggest Volbeat fan in the world look like to me? And it's like, I don't know. And there's an old
mean-
saying, of course, I've probably brought up on here a couple of times, of like, if you make something for everyone, it's not for anyone.
Right.
And the numbers of all of their previous albums, like the number of plays are completely unreal. Like it's, tens of millions for every song. And it kind of has a little bit of that, indication that it's for everyone, which ultimately implies that it's not for anyone. And then does that same thing of like, who is this for, still kind of rings around as we listen to these.
It's tough because, like, I think the way you're feeling about this is the way Chris Schoenberg feels about almost everything we like. It's like the roller.
I would be really curious to hear how he responds to that.
The roller
'Cause I could
coaster
see it
thing
going
you
either
said
way.
makes total sense. Like, yeah, it's scary, but it's on a track. Like Chris gets so offended when anything has distorted guitars in it if it's not the most insane fast balls to the wall thrash metal thing in the world with no clean vocals. He like gets offended that someone even bothered putting distorted guitars in a song that has clean vocals on it. And so, like, kind of the way you were just describing it is the way I imagine Chris feels about a lot of the stuff we show him. And
I would really love to hear him respond to that, because
Yeah.
I'm curious now. It's
well,
an
he
interesting
needs
thought.
to show his ass up here when we do a reaction or two, and
Yeah.
we can talk about it at that point. But
I think he would be a really good one to have on this. We should do it.
I know, but he
again
would never
sometime.
agree to be here. He would never agree to
No,
be
I
here
know.
for this because to him, Volbeat is an affront to an abomination, anything you can think of. Like,
Well, I would love to hear why he thinks that at the very least.
I agree. We should.
Because I
Everybody
mean,
should
the
write in the
opposite of love
comments.
is not hate,
wish
but
Chris was-
indifference.
Now, I want to say, for the record, I really did like that song. At first, I thought, I don't know, but then the more it grew, he added like layers of vocals every chorus. The last chorus felt bigger than the two previous. I liked the guitar solo. I liked the fast riff. A lot of the times if they do faster riffs, they only maybe do them for part of the song, and definitely never the verse, or very rarely for the verse. So the fact that a majority of that song was fast, heavy guitar riff, I really liked. I liked the chorus. I actually liked that entire song. I don't think it's one of the greatest songs they've ever written, but maybe on this album, it will be one of the best songs on the album. I don't know. Cody, what did you think
I
of
think
that
I'm
one?
getting that vibe for the next song.
I don't know. I guess I'm with Chris, is that I just don't think this is for me.
Okay.
and I don't know. I guess I'm curious what you will think of this whole album once we're done, because you obviously like the band. And so, like, we didn't really get enough of the our intro for me to really say that this is way different than their older stuff. I know you played me some of their best songs, or what you consider to be their finest work, or most representative.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I get none of these songs so far have really spoken to me.
Yeah. Well, none of them have had the fun element to them that this band has in some of their songs. So, but again, they kind of ditched their last two albums. Now, where the fun came in on those last two albums was when they were trying like more of the surf guitar type stuff. And I don't know if they'll do that here anymore, because the guy that did all that stuff was their producer. He was the guy that the guitar player who produced all their records for him. So like, if they had crazy ideas, they knew how to implement them. With this new person who is ever producing this album, and the fact that they didn't spend a lot of time on it, they just went in, performed the songs, added what they thought needed to be added, and didn't think about it, and then they pooped the album out. So that was the thing I was most scared of, is this album going to feel like B-sides or something, because they did not put all the effort into it that they have on previous albums. And, I'm definitely like, this is not like up to par with their best albums, in my opinion, at all.
So they talked about it like it was a good thing that they went in and did it so fast.
Yes.
Like the songs just flowed out of them.
I feel like
It definitely felt
I feel like
that
that
way
claim
with
of having written it so fast is not nearly the flex they think it was. It's kind of a
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Definitely from their perspective, I think it was. Because just like you were saying, like, I think that he probably feels that maybe some of their previous work was very manufactured and like committee, like what
manufacture's a good word for
what can we do to make this as popular as possible. Whereas here they're just like, let's go in and rock and jam and just write out some songs, and whatever happens. And unfortunately that can come with some mediocrity. But I think for them also, you have to, and I think it's hard to keep stuff like this in mind as well, but like, they made this album knowing they are not going to play all of these songs live. And all they really care about is adding one or two songs to their repertoire to play live. So
I don't know if that's all they care about with these listening numbers. Like, they're making so much money from this.
Right. But I just think it's interesting to look at a band making an album and to think of it in context of the rest of their catalog as well. Like, yes, I do think every band should go in the studio with the idea that what they're making is going to sound better sonically than anything they've done before, and they should try to write the best album they've ever written every time they go in the studio. I definitely think that is true. However, when a band is mostly about performing live and they've been doing it for so long, and maybe for all we know, they didn't want to do another album yet, and they were under contract for some record label and they forced them to, so they're just like, fine, we'll do it. And then they're trying to spin it now that they went in and did it fast, when really it was uninspired garbage, Maybe that's what it is.
And that's one thing I wonder about too, when bands start making stuff in this way, where it's like, you go back to their old stuff and they've got that Black Rose or whatever, totally like way out of left field, even like compared to any of this. And it's like, if you even considering the live aspect of it, it's like, don't you want to play songs that are fun? Because I don't think you're going to have a lot of fun playing this.
Yep. I do think that last song was fun though. I do. let's
Yeah.
go on and see what we think.
They haven't all been terrible.
No, they're not terrible, and I
It's
don't
going
want to
up and down, but just overall, I don't have high hopes for the rest of it.
Well, and now
it's definitely middle of the road. And this next track has a completely ridiculous title to the point where
go
it's
ahead
like
and-
this better
go
be
ahead tell us what it is, Chris.
in the barn of the goat giving birth to Satan's spawn in a dying world of doom. So this better be just like 4 minutes of just like white noise basically, and then all the frequencies, all the things, everything all at once, and then it's over. Like it has to be chaos. And if it ends up like acid rain, it's gonna be hysterical. Not in a great way.
or I want this to be like an acoustic song, like goofy, like bluegrass inspired, like, but with their metal hitch to it.
Well, and that's the thing is like compare this to Raunchy, for example. Like if I saw a title like that in a Raunchy album, I'd be like, these artists are about to have a blast with this
Yes,
song.
1,000,000%.
And so far, I haven't gotten the vibe from Volbeat so much that they are outwardly having, a lot of tongue-in-cheek kind of fun with their music. So I'm not sure what will happen here.
That's a good point. The tongue-in-cheek aspect of it seems to kind of be gone. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay, this is what Chris just said. In 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Jumping on the ground like an old used automobile. I saw it a lot of times on while burning fields. And when the angels fall, banners from the sky.
It's a very grungy guitar tone.
Yeah.
I walk the night. I walk the night. On and sweat the people cheats the creepy light. Bleeding agony from the wagons.
Chris's face.
I guess they're going to focus on the barn bit of this.
We're in a barn. We're in a barn. Oh, I walked the line.
Yeah, literally says I walked the line.
Yeah.
I am the night.
Oh, that's kind of a cool riff.
Interesting, the rides on the left. Hard left.
Yeah.
We're going out in the barn tonight. Put on your silky dress. I got a bloody appetite.
The drums are definitely a step down from their last, since their second album.
Yeah, that snare's just so flat and mid.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's cymbals in there. They showed up because they have
Very
to. but
washy.
That's about the only reason they're there.
Okay.
He's doing more of the Elvis affect, and I like it.
On this one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool part of the riff. Repeated one too many times. Too long. Too long, this section. We're in a
Who's this for?
Baby, we're in a barn. Oh, yeah. Is the song going to end with like a goat going
That'd be pretty fun.
So the last, what we just heard was the last line. Spoilers.
Oh, okay.
And it was the whole title of the song you said there.
Really? It was. I'm in the barn of the God-given bird
Yes.
to Satan's spawn in a dying world of doom.
That's exactly what he said.
Oh, come on. Now, this
Like
is
this-
cool. There's cool riffage here.
It's cool, but it's
To what end? This is just one weird thing after another with boring long section in the middle that didn't need to be repeated 5 times.
and
I like his vocals though.
Yeah, I liked his vocals, and I like the fact that it started stupid, kind of, and he was just, by himself,
Yeah.
kind of, and
but it's too restrained. It's too constrained to really be stupid enough to be
That song
what it
I
is.
missed the soaring chorus. That when the songs don't have the obvious chorus, it's like, what are we doing here? Okay, what are we doing? So that one was disappointing to me from a structural standpoint. I thought it was more interesting in certain ways than any of the songs we've had so far because it was goofy weird. But like you said, Chris, it didn't like fully go into the goofiness.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't make me laugh out loud or
gotta
anything like
commit.
that. But I could see something like this with those weird vocals, and he's doing the more Elvis like verses and stuff, and then like add a soaring chorus like you mentioned into that, and I think it would have made for a more interesting song.
Yeah. One other thing I want to mention is that if you do go back and like listen to their catalog, they have like multiple songs that sound like pretty much identical to one another. So, like he has multiple songs where the rhythm of the vocals are like it's that rhythm, you know what I mean? That he used.
Yeah,
so I'm a
sure.
sad man, like that kind of a thing, like a
Yeah.
Johnny Cash type of thing. Like they have like 4 songs that are like identical rhythm to that and stuff. So I think one thing that they're also trying to avoid doing, and when you make an album like this where they have said like we try to avoid structure, thinking about structure too much, we didn't want to make everything feel so like we tried as hard as we could to make it as good as whatever, like. One thing that they are probably consciously trying to do is not do anything they've done before because people probably do criticize them a lot for having songs that sound similar. And so maybe when a band gets criticized for that a lot, I could see them going out on a limb to not have catchy choruses because they've done that so much before. And at that point, that's when I start disliking a band because it's like I just want you to have the catchy choruses. I want you to be goofy and not just for the sake of being goofy or weird. So I don't know.
Sure.
Okay, so that was In the Barn of the Whatever. Now we are on, and that song had 3 million, so that was probably another single. The next
Or
song,
people just saw the title and clicked on it.
not
That's not a bad consideration.
not 2.5 or not 3 million more.
Yeah.
That's too big of a number. They must
mean,
have
they
released
get-
it as a single.
What they get like 5.5 million listens a month? Like
Yeah. Well, yeah.
doesn't take long to add that up.
Yeah.
That's true. But still, with the amount the other songs all have, and it's only been released since Friday, so that song's been out before. But now this song,
Yeah.
Time Will Heal, also probably released as a single because this one has 2.2 million. So, all right, this is Time Will Heal. Maybe this is kind of more of a ballad one or something. I don't know. In 3, 2, 1.
Baby's first guitar?
Today I'm feeling sad. Why do I look to the sky?
Today I'm feeling sad.
Nothing will be the same. The mindset tries to get by. Tomorrow's another phase, depending on the unknown. Sleep is the enemy, accepting the good with the low. Accepting the good with the low. Time will heal the open wounds.
like this chorus.
They have used that exact same rhythm multiple times. That was
Yeah.
It was good. It was context with this album. A lot of good stuff happening there.
It's funny. It's exactly what you said. You thought they might have been trying to avoid doing.
With the last track, I know.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's what they do good.
Yeah. But it's a legitimate criticism, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
This reminds me of something. I can't think of what.
Me too.
Coldplay.
Yes. Yeah. That. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
This is like a fun one to sing along with in the car, you know, when you're driving around.
Sure. Yeah.
But would you choose it over other singable albums?
I don't know. No. That was interesting.
Time will heal the open wounds, but the heart will always decide how the soul will be moving on.
I like it even more without the Coldplay jangly whatever behind it.
Yeah. Did he forget to sing the chorus here, or what?
Fell asleep.
They're not restricted by what you're expecting.
Yeah. I mean, put a harmonica or something in here. Come on, man. Which they do use harmonica in some of their songs, by the way.
What? I can't
Yeah.
even picture that.
How come I didn't pick that one? One of those? Because
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
they do
Oh,
occasionally
boy.
do this as well. Yes. It is not unbeknown. It is not. I'm not un.
Unheard of.
I'm not
Yeah,
heard of.
it's not unheard of for this band to
You know-
break the law.
Let me set a scene for you. Somebody goes to a battle of the bands, and they're favored to be like the best. But then there's some sort of blackmail situation from another band's manager who's like, if you win, this terrible thing's going to happen to you. And so they're up on the stage and they're playing their music, and that manager's over off the side of the stage. And every time they start doing something interesting, they look over and he's like,
No. It's like, okay.
and so then they just like play a really boring, stupid version of that thing.
Yeah.
And that's, I feel like, is happening here, where it's like when we talk about it being like hyper manufactured and like this could be a contract fulfillment album or some other kind of thing that's really heavily controlled by like studio execs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every time you want to do something interesting, someone's over there going,
Yeah.
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 I'm wondering if it's the guy that left the band that would always be the one to speak up and be like, no, this song needs something else.
yeah.
We're not done with this one yet, guys.
I do think that's part of it. I think it's the main guy. Like, he's definitely like the primary, like everything goes through this guy. But I do
Sure.
think that he had a lot of good ideas, the Rob guy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it does feel like there's something missing here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get through this. Better be fueled than tamed. Better be fueled than tamed. Not better to be fueled than tamed.
There's so
No,
much like lyrics and titles. And why don't you start the song?
Okay. In 3, 2, 1.
It's just whoa. What?
Mid
Did
song.
you start in the middle?
That has to be like a transition from the previous song. No, because it faded out.
It faded out.
I tried to give him the benefit.
I don't know what.
So
to
they
say
can't
about
finish
that.
the song
They
or
do
start
have several
one.
songs that do this.
That's.
It's a very rock and roll thing.
I wish I had the this is the one song so far that doesn't have the lyrics listed for whatever reason. But that seemed like it started in the middle of a line.
Yeah.
Like mid-word.
Yeah. But yeah, what I was gonna say is a lot, some of these lyrics are feels like English as second language kind of a thing with some
sure.
of these titles too, which is fine. But
Which is silly. I'm pretty sure the guys.
I don't know. I don't want to judge if that's the case. But you said they sometimes sing in Danish, but not, I guess, not often.
Not very often, no. But sometimes,
Okay.
yes.
Does it have that Spotify thing where it says like where they're most popular?
Yes.
I wonder if it's their home country or if. Sometimes I don't necessarily trust that information on there. It seems weird sometimes, but
So they have 193,000 people from Stockholm, 137,000 from Helsinki, 134 from Oslo. That's actually a lot. It's like the same amount than Munich, Denmark, then Vienna, and it's all the same amounts. But this is awesome, by the way, what we're hearing.
huh? Yeah, it's cool.
Sorry, I don't want to get just too distracted. If they're actually going to do something cool.
Yeah, we probably should give it their due when it's deserved here. I'm surprised this song has such a low play count compared to the rest of the album because
Yeah.
it's one of the more interesting ones so far.
Yes.
It's weird because it's like the previous song has so many, and then
Yeah.
the rest of the album has nothing. Like you'd think people got to the end of 6 and were like, "Well, I'm done with this. Like I can't take this crap anymore."
Yeah.
But
I think it's just because those
So
songs were
many.
released earlier as singles. It's got to be what it is.
yeah,
And they must be. Well, maybe they should have released this one.
Yeah, they should have. Oh, I should have showed you their cover of that Domino song. Domino, Domino. It's one of the most goofy things they've done in their whole career. I'll show it to you later.
Domino by Van Morrison.
It's a famous Domino song called Domino. I don't know who did it originally. This is a fun song. The tambourine across the album so far.
you know what that made me think of? Because it's another instance of like this is fast, this is metally, this is whatever, but it also feels like it's not at the same time. And it made me think of the Power Rangers theme song, where it's got that same kind of guitar tone, and it's like really catchy or whatever. But it's like this isn't a heavy song. It seems like it's supposed to be, but it isn't doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah. That was the type of song that only this band can do, because it had like some of that 50s stuff, but it was still pretty metal.
Yeah.
There was a heavy a guitar solo that was really ripping. Like there was heavy parts in there. That was fun. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're on to at the end of Sirens. 256 million. This is the longest song on the album, so we'll see what we get here. In 3,
256,000.
yeah. Sorry, did I say million or something?
Yeah.
Oh, well, shoot, not that much. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay.
Mid song.
Yeah, again.
Godsmack? Never mind.
Tambourine.
Yeah, it's in there.
How very Rob Zombie of them.
No.
Nah. Do it again. Yeah.
I like this one.
Yeah. Now we're only a fourth of the way into it.
Right.
I like this chorus. This chorus has lasted twice too long? Twice? You know what I'm trying to say.
Twice as long as it should.
I'm twice as long. I'm getting tired. Yeah. I think that riff deserved to be played through twice. I'm not sure we needed a third verse.
Here's another one where it's like you're giving it 5 minutes, but you're not filling the 5 minutes.
Yeah.
This one has energy in it.
Yeah. And I like the go, 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 stop rhythm, you know? Chorus. What are they going to do now, though? This is the end of the song right here. Or it should be. They better not go through the chorus.
30-second fade out.
Those are some heavy chords.
They seem like they are, yes.
Yeah, like that's more Black Sabbath-y type of heavy. Cool. Cool. I'm okay with that one. I liked it. What do you think, Cody?
I don't know. No, I think the more metal they are, the less I'm kind of into them.
The more like,
honest.
but the more like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, I know what you mean, though, I guess.
Yeah.
But that also makes total sense. I mean, that's what I would expect from you. The less metal it is, the more you would enjoy
Sure.
it. But, you know, you have
Yeah.
to also look at it from the point of view of, like, we could be listening to, you know, Cradle of Filth, you know? I feel like you would like, even though your least favorite Volbeat song is still significantly more
yeah.
enjoyable to you than your favorite
Yeah.
Cradle
It's
of Filth
listenable
song.
for sure, and it doesn't sound like a compliment, but as far
It's
as metal
listenable.
goes, like
It's listenable.
Yeah,
You can
like,
put it in your mouth
I can
and
listen.
chew.
I can understand what he's saying,
Right.
generally.
Yeah.
9 out of 10
Like-
orphans can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
What'd you
But
think
yeah,
of it?
it's still not doing it for me. But
Chris, did you
is
like
what it is.
did you like that like more slower plodding like feel to that? I mean, it started off fast like the previous one, and then
Yeah, I mean, like, this is. It feels really unfair for me to say this because I don't really understand what is happening. But it's like in any other context, that would have been like, you know, stink face, head, you know, really that heavy sludge that we love so much. But it feels fake. It feels like mimicry, and I don't know how
Okay.
that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, I do know what you mean because that's how I feel when I
Yeah.
listen to some like bands that use really fake like 12-part harmony, you know, like Melodyne, like 40 like female like Amaranth is my go-to example for that. Like I haven't been able to enjoy
Yeah.
their albums for like 4 albums because it's fake sounding to me. And so I kind of I get what you're coming from. I don't feel it with this at all. But again, like Cody said, I'm a fan of this band. So I've heard
Yeah.
their bad songs, you know. I showed you guys mostly their good stuff. Like they have a lot of other good stuff too. Don't get me wrong. I didn't just show you their good stuff. But like I've heard their mediocre songs. So
And I don't even mean fake necessarily from a production aspect perspective.
Right.
It's like
yeah,
from a
it makes you feel
Yeah.
guilty listening to it. I know exactly what you mean, I think. Not guilty,
I don't know
but
if I
just
go
like
that far, but it's just not. It's like, why am I numb to something that I should love on paper?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and I don't understand.
Yeah, it really is. I think I do know exactly how you feel. It is a hard thing to articulate for sure. Okay, we've got 2 more. So this is the penultimate song right here. This is Lonely Fields. After those 2 songs, I think we need a slower song of some kind. They have not done on this album yet any sort of a out of left field, completely different thing. In the barn with the goat and the thing or whatever was a little different. But I want this song to be totally different from anything we've heard so far. That's my hope.
Yeah.
All right, this is Lonely Fields in 3, 2, 1.
Carry the corn in a bag of shiny day. Oh, I love this spot.
Is it
Carry the
possible we're
corn?
missing the first couple seconds of this?
I think that one
No.
started at 4
Yeah.
seconds. Yeah. for us.
Maybe for us with the sync. Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't
that's
hear.
better. There we go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just started at carry or whatever, and it's
Well,
like,
the 2
why? What
previous songs had intros. It went. So it didn't
happened?
just
Okay,
start.
So yeah, it's probably that.
Okay.
Okay.
What my daddy said.
Does this feel like it falls into the same category as that most recent In This Moment album?
Hello? Oh, it's you. Okay, good job. You were able to make it in.
I guess we'll never know.
Hold on, I'll come let you in just a sec.
Oh, how I do miss those sunny days and the
Hold on, I'm gonna pause it for just a sec. Okay,
No, that
do
one's
we
truly
need to
scary.
start this one over again or? No. I
Would
don't
it be easiest for the edit?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Lonely Fields in 3, 2, 1.
Carry the corn in a bag.
So did you guys hear the dun 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 for a measure beforehand there?
Yeah, that
Okay,
time it worked.
Okay. Ooh, that's that from that Halloween song.
Oh, sure.
See if they do it again.
Yep. I think see if they do it again is pretty much going to be a yes on every song.
It's part of the riff, but they added more reverb to it to emphasize it.
Yeah.
It's cool. Check.
Laying in bed, hearing the cornfield crows like a child would cry.
This song's boring.
Open the window and see the
The chorus of this song, if I assume that was the chorus we just heard, it feels like he's like, they started writing this song and he's like, oh shoot, I've already written this chorus like 4 times. I'll just go to weird notes at the end of everything. That's what it sounded like to me.
I need to hear it again.
You will.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure.
probably 2 more times, if not more.
At least. There's a little bit of Avenged Sevenfold in this chorus.
Ooh, there you could, some transients didn't line up. I hate that. That's the first
Ooh, a
piano I've
piano.
ever heard in their music.
Put it away.
Let's go. Do something cool. Do something cool. This is the Halloween song
Play
on this album.
the
This is-
solo,
yeah, this is the Halloween
note
thing.
for note, with the guitar.
Yeah.
That is Halloween. That's the Halloween
Cool.
theme song.
Almost.
And why?
It's like the copyright-free version of the Halloween. It's like so close.
Yeah, yeah.
In a song called Lonely Fields.
I think this is supposed to be like a scarecrow in a field kind of a thing.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
But
They do use birds as imagery a lot and stuff.
that's true.
Could have done with the guitar solo there, knowing how much time
This
we
part
have
of
left.
it does not.
Now I'm afraid they're just going to repeat the chorus.
The chorus is not a horror song.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Lonely Island song.
A Lonely
They did the
Island
Space
song?
Olympics song. Yeah.
Ah.
Should we just roll into the next song?
Yeah, we can.
I don't have anything to say about this.
Yeah, because that was, I mean, whatever you're going to say about that. All right, let's go into the last track. This better impress me. It better end on a good note.
Oh. So this is part 2 to the track 2.
Second song, yeah.
Which I don't remember what that one was.
Track 2 is like the best one.
Whoa. Okay.
That fade in delay vocal is a Metallica thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Tool also does it, I think. Every once in a while. Was that the chorus?
I don't know.
That's a cool part of the riff.
Miserloo. What's weird is the first 5 tracks of this album had lyrics, and the last 5 did not.
Maybe
last
they're not
5 didn't,
done filling
what?
them out, yeah.
I know. I don't know. Is that like the last 5 tracks of the album do not have lyrics on Spotify, but the first 5 do? I don't know if that's up to like the artist to do that, or maybe there's some sort of threshold of listeners before it automatically loads them or something.
I think that was a piano note again. It's in there.
I think so. Bong.
Yeah.
Is that just a crazy reverb on that guitar?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think across
enough
the
time
whole
for the
album,
solo.
the solos are too loud. Across the whole album, I think. What a bummer.
Huh.
That's an interesting song, but a bummer of a...
Yeah.
Ooh, it went to Catatonia. A bummer of a album closer, I think. So, okay.
Yeah. The chorus was funky.
Yeah, it was. I like the fact that it was a fast one that they ended on. That's cool, but I don't know. Overall, this is disappointing to me. I don't think this stands up to their 4 most recent albums, which have been spread out over quite a few years, you know. But they just, like I said, exactly what I was afraid was going to happen happened. The guy that made their band just a little more interesting left, and then they went back to what they were doing before. So it's a bummer. I think there was some interesting things happening here. I think the mix could have been more interesting, and that would have made the whole album more interesting. The snare drum was just flat the entire album, I think, and the cymbals were too washy. They didn't sound terrible, but it didn't really sound like there was anything special about it at all either, in my opinion. And so yeah, so and like you said, pointed out right away, Chris, it carried across the whole album the lack of high frequencies, the low pass filter on the master. For some reason, bands just do it now. They want their album to have no crispy high frequencies in it whatsoever, and that is what this album followed the trend. So what do you think, Cody, having heard your first full length Volbeat album?
Oh, I guess I'm not into it. I was what I wanted this band to be was that very first song you played for us, the Johnny Cash, very rockabilly, psychobilly, Elvis-y, fun, kind of gimmicky, I guess. It seems like it might be, if this is more what they sound like. And then it got more and more I don't want to say generic, because I don't know what it really sounds like aside from like Metallica at times. But it just lost that it seemed like it was going to be kind of a special band at the start, and it just kind of lost that for me.
Yeah.
And then this whole album is none of the songs in this album struck me like that very first song you played for me did.
Right. I definitely think that there wasn't anything on this album that was like special, like that song, or like some of the other ones I did play for you guys, which is a bummer. I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
This is a pretty forgettable album, I would say. Probably the least Metallica one I've heard from them so far, even in lyric or vocally. Just no Hetfield almost anywhere, which is really interesting after having such a long stretch of being like the ultimate Hetfield analog, and I think that's really interesting. But yeah, it is all of it. It's just like, in a way that I still struggle to articulate, is like all of this cool stuff is happening, but so what? And I don't know why that is.
I think one thing that I will mention is when I usually get a Volbeat album and I listen to it the first time, their music isn't the type of music that automatically impresses me like immediately. Some of the songs always do stand out, but when I really begin to like start enjoying their albums is when I put it in the car, or I just listen to it as like a whole thing, like when I'm not paying super attention to it. Then what happens is some of the songs separate themselves, and they're the ones that I remember, and I sing to myself after I've heard them a couple times. That could still happen with this album. I don't think it's going to, because I wasn't impressed enough with any of the like melodies or anything to like really think like, oh, I'm going to sing along with this later. So that was kind of a bummer. I was afraid this album was going to be more simplistic, and I don't think that was the case at all. I think they still had lots of overdubbing on the vocals, lots of gang vocals, background vocals, harmony vocals. They had guitar solos. They had lots of things happening. They had acoustic guitar. They had tambourine. They had things other than just guitar, bass, drums, vocals. So in that regard, I was afraid the album was going to sound a bit boring because they weren't going to do all those things, but they did do all those things, and I still think the album fell flat. And so that's a big bummer to me. But again, I also have to say that like not every song that they have on every one of their albums is like a banger. I do think that the two albums of theirs that I love, Outlaw Gentlemen, Shady Ladies, and then Seal the Deal and Let's Boogie, I think those two albums are like front to back really good. Their albums, all their albums from before those, I think have like ups and downs, certain songs that really stand out, and then other songs that are just kind of forgettable. And then their two most recent albums, after the two that I mentioned that I love, there's really high points where they're being goofy and trying weird stuff. And then there are some songs that like linger way too long. I mean, they have 7+ minute songs on their last album. But that album is much more of like a concept-y thing. It's more progressive. And so there's long, like 2-minute stretches of song where like they're building up to like the next part of the song. And so it feels like on this album, they kind of tried to stretch some of the songs like they did on their previous album, but they weren't doing like dark, interesting songs. They were just doing like a kind of generic Volbeat song and stretched it twice as long as it needed to be. Maybe because they wanted the album to be over 40 minutes or something. I don't know.
Because you had mentioned before that one of the albums was like had like a real theme to it. I think was it Seal the Deal?
Two of them do. The Outlaw Gentlemen and Shady Ladies is the one that's all like Old West stuff. And then the one after that is the one that's all like New Orleans, late 1800s, early 1900s, like boxing. The like they have like voodoo and like stuff like that. And so there is
this doesn't really have a through line in terms of like what is any of this stuff about.
Did you get any? I think it's sort of a through line, Cody, from looking at the lyrics.
No, not really.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely like one of their this is not in their top 5 best albums, I would say. I think their 4 previous albums before this are much better. And then their album from before that one is probably better than this one. And then their album from before that is honestly probably better. So like this is probably their like 6th or 7th best album, in my opinion. So that's a huge bummer to me. Now, I was going into this with kind of lower expectations, so that in some ways, like I've already said, with all the overdubbing and the extra things they've done, they did blow my expectations out of the water, but none of that matters, like you said, Chris, if there's just nothing there to enjoy, even though you're trying hard with all the extra stuff you're adding. If the song is still a meh song, it's going to be a meh album. Even their singles for this album did not stand out to me. Even that one that's like a goofy barn one, like that didn't... I don't even remember.
It wasn't goofy enough.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. So let's end this video on a totally goofy thing. I got to play for you guys that Domino. Cody, you'll love this. I forgot about this song. This is from I think it's one of the bonus songs on their Servant of the Mind. So this is the same album that has Don't Tread on Me. Right? So that's what that sounds like. Here's their song. This is a 3-minute long song. This is Domino. Okay, this is a cover of an older song. Let's see what Cody thinks of this. We all listening to it?
Yep. Hi, yes, I hear him.
Roy Orbison.
Yes. Oh, yes, yes.
I don't think I know the original song. I like this.
Oh, yeah. I knew you'd love this.
Oh, this sounds way better than that album.
There must have been like... Yeah, it does.
There's so much...
I think this must have been covered in the 80s by someone, because I can hear a version of this that's like some other band.
Yeah. I feel like you can tell that they care about this in a way that they didn't
right?
on the previous song. But I don't know how to pinpoint it, like why.
Yeah. Well, they've gone all in.
I mean, the
on this.
vocals
Like,
are
you can't
huge.
fake this.
Yeah, all in.
So is the Metallica cover album, were those songs not commissioned specifically for that album?
The Blacklist album?
Yeah. Because you didn't
Yeah,
just
those are
say
all
that
songs.
didn't you just say
Those are
that,
all songs that are on the Black album, but they're all just covered by different bands.
Yeah, but didn't you just say that Don't Tread on Me, their cover of Don't Tread on Me was on this album?
It's on the Blacklist album, and they also included it on one of their albums.
Okay, but they wrote it for the Blacklist. Like
They wrote it
write
for
but-
they made it for that. Like they probably went in for
Okay.
a session that was just them recording that, and maybe that's when they
Okay.
recorded that song we just heard now. But
Cool.
yeah,
Interesting.
That was much
very
more
fun.
inspired.
I know.
Yeah.
I wish there could be like one fun song like that on the new album.
I know. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
I didn't get the vibe that either of you guys really cared for Volbeat that much. So I cannot sit here and say, like, you should go try to listen to, like, the entirety of those two albums that I think are really great. I don't
Yeah.
think that you would get much more out of it than what we were listening to, other than the fact that the songs are a little better. Like, for me personally, one thing that's interesting about those songs is, like if they have a song called Marie Laveau, right? Like, who is that? What's the song about? You can go online and look, or you can literally just read the lyrics in the book, and then there's a picture. In the booklet of those two albums I keep talking about, there is a custom piece of art, and usually a character piece from the artist who did a picture of Marie Laveau, and, like, there's things hidden in the picture about references from the song, and then you read the lyrics in the booklet and it gives you an idea of what that was about, and it's its own little
cool.
thing.
I love that stuff.
I know. Yes, 1,000%. And so, like, those two albums are that, like, every song is like, this one's about Black Bart, this one's about the Lonesome Rider, and then there's these really cool
Inspired,
images
yeah.
that go with it, and it's a bummer that we didn't really get that from here. Maybe if I had the physical CD with me and we were reading it, we'd have a thing about every maybe. But we did. But from just listening to the music, we did not get that type of enjoyment from it at all. So
Yeah.
I just
We got
think
no
it's
dominoes on that album.
no dominoes. I think it's just kind of disappointing overall, and that's fine. Bands can disappoint us. I don't even have to think about this album anymore the rest of the year. So there you go. Like I said, though, I might put it in the car, listen to it every now and then, put it on here. There were no swear words on the album, which is nice because most of their albums have like
pretty
3
sure that's
4
not true.
songs with. None of the songs had. None of the songs have explicit.
You're right. That's true.
So now they didn't
okay.
have. I don't think
he definitely swore at one point.
Well, like you said, Cody, the lyrics weren't there for several of the songs. I think they only have things listed as explicit if the lyrics are there. So,
Oh, okay.
like, that's where
Maybe.
the explicit comes from, I think.
I thought I heard an MFer in there at one point. but
I
maybe
thought
that
the
was-
same thing. It might have been one of the earlier songs. but
Maybe
yeah.
it was something we heard earlier. I don't know.
Oh, he definitely swore in some of the earlier songs that we were listening to in the
Okay, maybe
previous
that was
video.
maybe it was
but-
like the last one we heard
yeah.
or
But
something.
whatever. Yes, he definitely does in
Yeah.
that good one. But whatever. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My back hurts, and I am so tired. Cody, I'll bet you would have
Yeah.
normally gone to bed 2 hours ago at this point.
I know. That's
So
wow.
I thank you for staying up for and having fun with us, Chris.
Yeah.
It's only 9 o'clock for you, so you suck. But
Yep.
thank you.
Still
you
light out
guys.
even.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for doing this with me. This is a special album for me. I was looking forward to it most of the year. It's a bummer that it's not quite. It's not what I wanted it to be, but that's all right. Not everything has to be. Some stuff.
We
can
got
be
to learn who Volbeat is.
Exactly. That was more fun for me to do than, like, I would love to do, like I said, this exact same thing again with stuff like Sabaton. Cody, the reason I was going to do them with Volbeat was because Sabaton is kind of like this band, but everything about them is military. So, like, it's like every
Okay.
song is about a specific battle or a war hero, and then, like, it's power metal.
Wild.
So it's like crazy. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I gotta,
they're really cool, and there's no screaming. It's the same thing. It's just,
Yeah.
like, it's very sort of like Germanish sounding, but they're not.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, all right. Thank you, everybody,
right.
for watching. We'll see you all next time.
Yep.
Bye.
We got probably maybe, I don't know, less than half hour to go, probably. We got 2 songs. You can sit wherever, you can do whatever.
So, as I was returning to my seat just now, I'll wait for him to put his headphones back on. You'll
Okay.
enjoy this. So, Patrick,
Yes.
as I was returning to my seat just now,
Yes.
you also were, and I saw you, and I thought it was me long enough to go, Jesus, have I gotten that big?
That's very funny.
And it was like a genuine, like, oh, wait.
That's my big doofus friend. Who recently lost like 70 pounds. So, hey, we can go back and look at that picture again if you want to. Though no one wants to.